Welcome to the Dean Vaughn Music Podcast Show. Coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Mark your calendars for Thursday, July 3rd, 2025 at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because we're bringing you a metal legend like no other. Please welcome America's shred demon, David Shankle. Formerly of the iconic band MANOWAR, known for his blistering guitar riffs, lightning-fast technique, and powerful, distinctive sound, David is one of the top 10 shredders and fastest guitarists in the world today. A true composer and guitar virtuoso, David continues to shred up the metal scene with unmatched passion and intensity. Be sure to tune in and subscribe to the Dean Vaughn Music Podcast channel so you won't miss this epic interview with the one and only David Shankle. Exclusive fan bonus. If you subscribe, you'll have the chance to join us live for one Talk to the Band segment where you can speak one-on-one with David Shankle and myself during the show. And don't miss your chance to win a free music podcast mug featuring David Shankle. Thank you and rock on, and I'll see you there. Welcome to the Dean Vaughn Music Podcast Show. How's everyone doing tonight? Hey, Dave, how's it going?
Hey, I thought I lost you for a bit when you started to come in, but I'm like, no, Dean, don't leave me now. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. I heard you were in Chicago. How was it out there?
It's very hot like it is here in Milwaukee.
You're in Milwaukee now, yeah.
So I'm in Milwaukee now, up in my home, in my studio, where I do my thing, and I'm very happy about that. And I'm very happy to be here with you and everybody and anybody that cares to come out. And I would like to, real quick, Dean, give a shout out to somebody we both know and love. That means a lot to us, and that's Holly, manager of Red Raven. She made this possible for us. I nicknamed her the Shred Queen. So thank you, Shred Queen. We love you.
Thank
Just
you,
wanted
Shred
to let
Queen.
you know.
Holly will be on chat, so you can thank her in person on chat tonight.
Oh, she's going to surprise us with her glory.
Well, yes, she's going to be in chat. She said, I got to see the show tonight. So she will definitely be on there, so you can say hi to her. She might even call in.
Okay. Very good.
We have a good lineup tonight. I've got about 5 videos. I know we were looking for another one. We'll find it. But everybody there, Dave's all over the place, and he was with the MANOWAR, and David Lee Shankle. That's the middle name. I got it. And I got the whole deal right.
You surprised me with that. You pulled that one out of a hat, didn't you, buddy?
I haven't called you David Lee Shankle yet. So, and from you were in MANOWAR, I think it was 1989 or 1995.
I got in the band at the end of 87, going into 88, and I toured with them. I met Joey when they were in Chicago real quick. started seeing me play in the Thirsty Whale, which was one of the big clubs at the time. And I had met MANOWAR there a year ago earlier when they were doing the Fighting the World tour. Roth and I became friends. Best buddies. Well, a year later, they were in town, and I was playing in a band called Vengeance at the Thirsty Whale. And a girlfriend of mine, Mary Beth, a friend, came up and said, you know, Joey Eric and Scott Columbus are here from MANOWAR. They'd like to talk to you. And I went, oh, I haven't seen them in a long time. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, they went over to the table, hung out, had some drinks, talking, and then they came back the second day to see me play. And then Joey started inviting me down to Chicago, where they were at Universal Studios at the time. Mixing the Kings of Metal record, but I did not know at that time Roth was already removed from the band, and Joey and I just started going down on the weekends and hanging out, and we just connected, me and everybody in the band and everything we were doing. And I got a phone call from him one day on a Saturday afternoon before I was getting ready to drive down, and he said, hey Dave, I want you to write this down on a piece of paper. And I'm like, okay bro, I'm gonna get in the car to come to you. It says, that which does not kill me only makes you stronger. I want you to give your job a 2 weeks notice. You're now the new Shred Demon guitar player in MANOWAR. And that is exactly what happened.
Business owner.
So, to make a long story short, I started going down while they were finishing mixing the Kings of Metal, and I was already starting to write material with Joey for Triumph of Steel. So we toured the Kings of Metal record with me as the new guitar player, Scott Columbus, making a name for myself, while Joey and I were writing the Triumph of Steel together. And during that time, touring, we saw Rhino when we were in Nashville and exchanged numbers. And when Scott had to leave the band, I made the call to Rhino and said, make a drum solo video. We're about to change your life. He sent the video, and Joey said, can you get this guy? I said, I'm on it. After he sent the video, the next day I called him and we put him in the band. And that's how Rhino got in the band. And I'm proud of that record. I wrote half the songs with Joey composed. I mean, it's obviously him and Eric's band, but I was a big writing part. And it went gold and then platinum all over Germany. And when we did the reunion show in 2010, it was double platinum already in Germany. And it's still, to this day, one of the Triumph of Steel, released in 1992, still one of the best-selling MANOWAR records to date. And I love the stuff Roth did. Roth loves what we did. I mean, there was Carl, Evie, but I mean, I'm proud to say, thanks to them, it cemented me and Roth in the heavy metal histories, and they're still going on today, and Joey and I are still friends. We talk every now and then. He put out my first 2 DSG records, and the third one was on a different label. So we are brothers of metal for life.
No, God, I got it. Listen, I got a video queued up. I want people to see you in action. Before we go on this long tangent and about your whole history, I want to run this. It's you're doing a solo. It's for a movie, Jezebeth.
Right.
And you are just screaming on the guitar. And but for the people that don't know you, I'm going to play it for the audience right now. Are you ready? Holy smokes, David! What the hell was that?
That's crazy. I must have been on a case.
It's almost like it wasn't real.
Now, here's the thing. I have played that live, but what I'm going to do, because that was in 2010. Since then, I've had many surgeries and stuff. But now that Grave Rain is finally coming together, I am going to be planning on playing that live, because many of the other guitar heroes that are out there that I know, friends of mine, and I mean, there's many of them, from Joe Stump, Rusty Cooley, I mean, Matt Mills, Greg Livesay, love him, wonderful friend of mine, great guitar player, and, you know, Jimmy Bell, all these guys know I play that way. You know, and et cetera. And even Michael Angelo Batio, who's in MANOWAR.
I know Michael Angelo,
We have played on each other's records, and we've always gone head-to-head with shredding. And we're two of the very few people that can play over the neck like that. And I've done it many times. You don't see it so much. But I'm planning on bringing in the backing track that's there of just that sound and playing the demonic solo live when I step out with Grave Rain. Because I want to do it just to show people, here it is.
Yeah.
Come stand in front of me.
You also teach. You teach guitar.
Oh, yeah. I've been a music teacher for 37 years.
That's awesome. So you're teaching these young guitar players, virtuosos, coming up.
Our music school is everything from kids to teenagers to adults. And to make a living at doing it, Dean, it's not just, put a post on Facebook and is somebody going to come here. This is a music school with me and my girlfriend Annette. We've been together 7 years. It's Milwaukee Music Academy. People can go on and fill out a sheet and ask for her or me. And then we get a lot of stuff through lessons.com, Thumbtacks, and other places. And we make a living doing it instead of paying other music schools to work for them half our money. We do it for ourselves.
No, that is bad to the bone. Let me tell you.
My father was a teacher, and he got me started at a young age. And I just told one of my students, Bill, that song's bad to the bone. So, Bill, if you're watching, bad to the bone.
He's bad to the bone. You know, I got some more videos. I want to go back into your history real quick. Because young kids want to know, why did this guy get into the guitar in the first place? So take me back when you were in high school. I mean, was that what you wanted to do your whole life?
Here's the story behind that. I always liked guitar. My father was a guitar teacher. He had 3 sons to raise, my mom and him. And my dad, when he was younger, played with Roy Clark in the Roy Clark band back when they had the early Hee-Haw show. Okay, and this was before he met my mom and any of us were ever thought of. But my dad was a good country guitar picker. And he put the guitar in my hand one day when I was 8 years old, bought it for Christmas, and wanted me to study Book 1 by Dick Bennett. I think I played that guitar for about a week and said, this isn't for me. And he bought me a motorcycle.
Oh my gosh.
I thought I wanted to be Evel Knievel. And it was on my 11th birthday. My dad and mom came out with my brothers and said, do you want a guitar or do you want a racing bike to do your Evel Knievel? My mom ran out of the kitchen and said, buy him the guitar, he'll live longer, screw this Evel Knievel. And since that day, I fell in love with the guitar. And through different time frames, I had guitar players that were an influence on me at a young age. And then from that, as my musical knowledge grew and gained, I got into different guitar players for different things. I never wanted to be anybody else but me. But
let's talk about David Shankle Group. Now, also don't talk so loud. I know you're. Just lower the volume just a little bit, because I'm gonna have an editing.
I'm gonna have
an editing nightmare when I get in the studio. So now you're also one of my favorite guitar manufacturers is Dean Guitars.
Oh, you like Dean Guitars, huh?
You're endorsed by Dean?
I used to be. I left the company back in like 2011. I'm with a different company now, Viper Guitars out of California, Jeff Heitman.
Okay.
Look, Viper
Guitars.
Buddy.
Gotcha. I gotcha. You were with Dean. Now you're with Viper, and I watched the video.
I was with Dean, ESP, Grossman Guitars, you name it. But Viper's where we landed. And Geoff and I have a wonderful relationship. And real quick, since we're there's the first. If you can see it, the first Viper that was made with a crazy headstock.
Well, I got a glimpse of it. You got your green screen, or you got this set.
Can you see this one?
Yeah.
There's the Fafnir Dragon.
That's your album cover, isn't it?
That's the album cover, and here's the newest one Geoff finished. Was this one here with pearl black?
Okay. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, that's beautiful.
One of that was a big.
Now, again, how many frets are on that?
All of these are 24 frets. The Dean guitar that was just in the video was 29. And
29, okay.
New 29 fret Viper. It goes all the way up to high A, 29 fret.
Wow.
Super, look at it. Super cutaway on all of them.
Beautiful.
But this is my 6-string 29.
That's a beautiful guitar.
I've got an 8-string in the back, but it's buried, and we're working on a new 8-string that'll be.
Is that a 7? Is that a 7-string there?
No, I got 2 7-strings, 2 6s, and an 8-string in the back that I'm going to be showcasing in the upcoming guest solo video for the doom metal band called The Cross. I did a solo for them and composed the orchestral behind it. I'm going to be shooting the video for that real soon, and that's coming out in a couple of months, the new record that I'm a guest solo on.
Let's back up a little bit to when in 1995 you played on the album The Triumph of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
And you were previously, of course, in a band called Paradox.
Yes.
And then you appeared in the Chicago Class of '85 compilation.
Yep.
You were contributing to a song called Night Rider.
Yep, 2 of them there was.
Right. So now it says you lead David Shankle Band, DSG Group.
Yeah.
And you're endorsed. Well, this needs to be updated to Viper Guitars because it says you're endorsed by Dean.
Well, let me explain something. There's many different things when you pull up on the internet or Google from other times before to where I'm at now. All anybody ever has to do is read my bio and go on my social media, and you'll see who
this is your Wikipedia page.
Yeah, that's not my personal one. That's just what's out there from other people.
It's David Lee Shankle Wikipedia, so you might want to go in and change that because most people will pull that up.
I didn't create that. I've never created a Wikipedia, so that's
all right. It's out there.
Else, buddy.
Okay,
I know it's out there. It ain't me.
Yeah, the Wikipedia supersedes a lot of this internet.
Real quick, Dean. As you got on that, let me just correct a few things. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm with Viper Guitars. I've been with Kaler Tremolo System, Gary Kaler and Eddie since the early 80s. I've been with EMG since I was in MANOWAR. I've been with Ernie Ball Strings. I would never use any other strings.
I use Ernie Ball Strings on my Ibanez.
That's what I use. I've been with Fractal Audio for 17 and a half years. I've been with Morley Pedals for almost 15 years. Those are my main endorsements and my hot sauce
Morley goes back a few years.
So if anybody's confused, there's the update.
So the DS7 is your latest guitar.
Yeah, I got several of them. Yes.
I watched the video today of the manufacturer. You were talking to him, or they were talking about you. You weren't there, and they were just having
a NAMM show. Yeah.
Okay, and they were talking about you. I also was looking up Guitar Heroes, and I marked the time signature where you're at.
Was that the one, the Guitar Heroes of the 90s part 2?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is really cool. It is really cool. And I was watching it, and I have it queued up right now. And I just have so many different videos. You're very hard to track because they're not in one place.
That's got the part of the Achilles solo that's in that one, I believe, from that Guitar Heroes they put in.
Oh, okay.
So if you play that real quick, people will see it if you have it.
I have it right here, and you're at. I marked your time at 3:20.
Hey, I'm in some good company there, and I'm proud of that.
You are, but I'm not going to play all of the other guitar players.
No. There's no need for that. This is our interview, brother.
This is our interview. Okay, so we are going to play it. Let me stop it real quick. Hang on. I'm going to play this real quick for the people so they can just kind of see more shredding by the shred demon, David Shankle. So give me 1 second. That's a pretty cool name to have. I'll bet you the kids just love to watch you.
The fans named me that, so I wasn't going to argue with them.
Oh my God. I know so many young guitarists that they're just, if they're watching the show, they're loving it right now, because most of them are just shredders. They just love to shred.
You got some people in the chat room listening or watching?
I'm looking over now. Let's see. We got 5 or 6 right now in there. Let me see. Oh, let's give a shout out to who's in the chat tonight. Let's see. I've got to look on the main screen. There we go. Almost Famous is out there. TJ, worth every penny. TJ. Okay, we got almost Jeff Virgil is in there. Very nice. Almost Famous Productions. And we got Jeff Virgil again. Silk City Hot Sauce is in there. Let's see. Bobby Morgan. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Dean and Lois, he says. I got a lot of my fans in there and friends in there tonight. And and TJ, and who do we got? Anyway, I'm just kind of looking. I'm sure more people will join in later. So let's get on this video real quick. Hang on one second.
Okay, buddy.
Hold on. I'm okay. Got a lot of moving parts over here. I want to make sure we're all queued up. Is everyone ready for some more David Shankle? Let's listen to it. Here we go.
Here we go.
Crank it up. Is that the audience?
There's across 70,000 of them.
Holy smokes. That must have been exciting.
Yeah, it was.
Look at that. Look at that.
My buddy Rhino. Thank you so much for playing that.
That's
crazy, isn't it?
Yes, and all the guitar heroes are there. All the guitar heroes are there.
There's a lot of great players in there, and I was honored to be a part of that. And thank you for sharing that with everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Dean.
Is that on the Achilles video, that one too?
Yeah, that is the Achilles video. Now, on the DVD, there's the whole song, but that piece I sent you isn't just that solo, so people get to the point real quick. You know what I mean?
You had a couple nice videos I was watching earlier. You had a live show in Chicago. Looks like 2019, Duke TV. Hellborn was one of them. Still a Warrior, and then you had the Ashes to Ashes, which I was really impressed.
Thank you. That's from my first debut CD, and we also did Calling All Heroes, which were for heroes and the people of 9/11 as well. So beautiful power ballad. And we did 2 versions because the record company and Joey and I discussed with them. The first version of the video was showing the towers coming down. And we said that could be too hard on people that were involved. So we did another version, editing that out and put more of the band in. But when you bought the CD, you had the 2 videos on there so you could choose to watch whichever one you wanted.
I got you.
There you go.
But it's like you were kind of hard to track. I had to go gather up the videos, the ones that I thought you might like, and the ones that I liked, and the ones with the most views, actually. Ashes to Ashes.
So far, you're doing pretty good, buddy.
David Shankle, DSG, Ashes to Ashes, HD 4K. Put on your 4K mask right now. Here we go.
We're 4K in it now.
It's 4K, man. 4K.
Strap in your seatbelt, brothers.
Strap in your damn seatbelts, mofo. Here we go. We're going to play some more David Shankle. This video is really cool, and it's a full-length video. Here we go. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff.
Crazy story. Thank you for playing that. So,
tell me, when was that video? What year was that?
That was 2001. My first DSG record after leaving MANOWAR. Okay. But I was still signed with Joey, and we put it out through his label and Nuclear Blast. Gotcha. Now, the blonde-haired woman in there with the white panties and all that, that was my wife for 24 years. And her sister with the boobs that came up at the end, that was her sister, Kim. Yeah, I was married almost 24 years and then divorced about 7 years ago. But is that
because you did the sister?
No, not that I could, no, but that wasn't the case.
Come on now.
No. That's different time, different life, different person. But
all right.
Then we brought it all in the family in that video, and then we shot the next day, Calling All Heroes. We brought that crew over from, I think it was Australia, and
nice.
we were really great people that ran the video crew that Joey got for us. So, and then I did the Hellborn record with him, and then Joey was having issues. My contract was up, so I put out the third DSG record on Pure Steel Records. Okay, so things change, always do. You know,
you played with a lot of people.
So you know, the word is starting to slip out. I might be doing a fourth DSG record.
Nice. Now, are you going to be playing with any of the old members? That singer?
There is a good chance that some of them may be involved. I can say no more at this moment.
Okay, because that singer's unbelievable. What's his name?
That was Trace Edward Zabar. I grew up with him when I was young with Howard Anderson, jamming in the basements of his parents' house, and he was always into Dio, and this guy could smoke 5 packs of cigarettes a day and walk up to the mic and in one take do perfect harmonies, main vocal. But he kind of is under the ground now, writing books. Haven't talked to him in a while, and I've had other singers that were in DSG and they all were great. So when it comes time for that fourth record, everybody will know who will be in that band. But I am seriously considering doing that record, and probably, sooner than people think.
Now, how many songs do you? Now, you only sent me one song, and I was wondering, why? Did you only want me to play the one song?
Well, that was what was asked, and then I figured you had a bunch of videos, so that's where we went from there.
Okay. Because I like to play them while we're talking. I like to just play songs. But that's okay.
I think the one I sent you is my instrumental that's off the same album, Ashes to Ashes.
It's this one here. So it's this song. It's the one that I was playing for the commercial.
Yeah. That's E2.
Yeah, okay. Great song. And you're just so lightning fast, and you're so melodic. And I have to think that there's a lot of technical stuff going on. You talked about all the different chromatic riffs and things like that. I'm an amateur, but explain to the listening audience, especially the young guitar players, how many types of riffs are there these days, and is it pretty easy for a young kid to pick up the guitar and learn how to shred?
Well, let me answer that in a couple of things. There's a lot of kids these days that think they can go to YouTube and learn everything they think they need to learn.
Right.
I'm not saying, depending on if you're a complete beginner, intermediate, or at a higher level player, that depends on your level and the type of thing you're trying to learn from YouTube. But keep this one important thing in mind. You can't stop that video on YouTube and talk to that man and have him talk to you. You're best having lessons in person with an accomplished, world-renowned player or a great teacher down the street at a mom-and-pop store. I highly recommend study theory books. I teach 40 people a week guitar, bass, and I teach bass theory and guitar theory. You want to learn as much knowledge as you can. I graduated from Roosevelt University, and Dean, look, you can study out of books this big. You got like a quarter of an inch of it is what you'll use in real life. And depending on the kind of music you play, you get past the pentatonics, which is basic for beginning to learn your blues and rocky stuff, and then 3 octaves of that. Then your modes, but beyond that is the altered scales, where you get into all the inversions of harmonic minor, melodic minor, jazz melodic minor, Phrygian dominant, Hungarian scales, and how you incorporate your knowledge into the music you write is really the key. And that's what separates the men from the boys.
Yeah,
and I teach all that when I teach guitar, because I love teaching and I love helping people not have to go through, Dean, what we did when we were younger. Keep rewinding the needle on the record. Or you know how many cassette tapes I ruined trying to rewind Yuli John Roth? Are you friggin' kidding me? Oh my God. Who's a good friend of mine now these days? So that's wonderful.
To do what you do on a daily basis, you just must be out of your mind. High energy, always busy. You're traveling a lot. You're teaching every day, probably. How do you do it and still balance your life?
I'll tell you why, because I got good people around me.
Yeah.
I've been through a lot in my life. We've all have our ups and downs. I've had 24 surgeries and procedures on my body in the last almost 8 years. And it wouldn't have been for my sister, Barbie Ray, that has been by my side, besides my wonderful girlfriend, Annette Bazaka, and my friends that are the closest to me, that knows what I've been through, or I wouldn't have been able to make it. And her husband, Michael Ray, they own their own body shop. He is now the new drummer in Grave Raid. And my good friend, Jack Lazar, who played in Hammer-On and Widow's Rose, I brought him in to play rhythm guitar. I lived with these people when I went through this difficult time. Mick Lucid, our bass player, and Tony Angle, who did Veilside, and we are Grave Rain, and we're rehearsing and going to be playing out this year. These people have been by my side and helped me live again, man. You know.
Yeah. You can't do it. You can't do it.
And especially Barbie.
Well, you need your support.
She's Wonder Woman. She helps everybody. You can't say enough. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be her. I love her to death. And if she's watching, I love you and the whole family. And thank God for that, man.
Well, we're watching David Shankle live, and I have another video.
I don't know why, because I thought you were playing Bjorn from ABBA.
I'm going to do Still a Warrior.
Okay.
I'm just picking them off.
I don't think Still a Warrior has anything to do with ABBA. No.
Is that what you were talking about? Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, so you're prefacing the next video, right?
Yeah. I know Bjorn from ABBA, your greatest guitarist that ever lived.
Okay, we're gonna play that one right after this one. So you ready? Here we go. I gotta share it. I gotta cue it up while you're talking and get ready to share.
Dude, you're all over the place with these videos. I love it.
I know. I got about 6 of them lined up.
Here we go.
Everyone stay tuned. Here we go. David Shankle live on the Dean Vaughn Music Podcast Show.
Love to
Holy shit, man.
Oh, boy.
That is incredible.
Thank you.
That is incredible. Let me stop the share here. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Dean. Dean, thank you so much for sharing some of the stuff that I do with people that know me and don't know me and still out here, and I really appreciate you taking the time and showing
absolutely.
those.
Hey, Holly joined the chat tonight. If you
Shred Queen. It's Shred Queen. She knows she's my Shred Queen. I named her that, and that is what she is.
Well, say hi to her. She's online.
Hello, Holly. How you doing? Love you. I said when we first started, it was you that made this happen, and thank you so much for that.
And she's out there listening to you. I can see her on YouTube. But listen, you are just an incredible guitar player, and I have to think that you've done so much work in the music business. Yes, absolutely. And along with having great band members, bass players, drummers. I mean, I'm listening to the musicianship, and it's incredible.
They're just as important.
Well, talent breeds talent, right? So it's like a magnet. It's like a magnet. You're going to attract some of the best players in the world.
That's why I have Mike LaPont from Symphony X playing bass in Kings of the New Kingdom with me.
Yeah.
And he's in the new Rings of Destiny record, Masters of War, soon to be released. Oh, yeah. And he's a monster bass player. So Mike LaPont, he's in 2 bands with me.
Oh, my God. So how many bands are you in right now?
It's just me and you. Be you, and we'll have Holly do vocals since she's the Shred Queen. Actually, brother, 3 bands. I have Grave Rain, which is my home band. Okay. I have Kings of the New Kingdom, which is Michael Stark in Sweden from Stormburner that I put in Feanor, the band that I left. But they're releasing their new record, and I did a guest solo on it. So did Ross and EV. And I have Wings of Destiny. That record's done. Some of the best musicians I ever played with in my life in that band. Me and Anton wrote the record, Mike LaPont on bass. And, Grave Rain's the home band. And when we did the first record, Dean, on Destination Aftermath, is when I had some of these surgeries. So we did the record, put it out on our own, made so much money from it. We mixed, produced, and wrote the second record and still got money in our bank account.
Oh, my God.
And we did not release it on a label, but the second one now that starts mixing at the end of the month, we got labels interested in it. And like I said, I brought Michael Ray in on drums, my sister's husband, Jack Lazar from Hammer On doing rhythm guitar, Mick Lucid, Tony Angle that had Veilside. I was in that band for a while. That's where I met my hot sauce people when we did a festival with Dokken, Sebastian Bach, and Queensrÿche. So we go around, and one thing led to another. These are my 3 families, and then my family that I have with Grave Rain that I'll be playing out locally and out of states. Wings and Kings is bands that take me overseas, like I did with Theodore, with Gus. We did The Power of the Chosen One, Sven Dianis on vocals. Great record, great. I wrote half that record on my own with them. Gus and Sven, we went over there twice and played. And then they asked me to do a guest solo on the new record that I did after I had left the band, but I brought him a great singer in Michael, who's in Kings of the New Kingdom with me and Stormburner. So it's still family and brothers of people that love each other.
You should write a book. You should have a memoirs. On David Shankle.
It now that you said it.
I'm serious. I mean, I would buy it.
My girlfriend's writing a book, so maybe she'll write one with me when I'm done.
When you go on the internet, it's very confusing. But if you put it all in like a book, I can kind of follow the trail. You know what I'm saying? And but tell me, let's back up a little bit now.
Okay.
Now I know that you've played in all these great bands. You have all this knowledge. Have you had any success with the record companies? Is there like a time in your life? Like, give me the highlight, the best time of your life where you were making a little money. I know it's hard to make money in this business, but you were at the top of your career. Tell me when that was.
For me, it's 2 different times. One, when I was brought into MANOWAR with Joey and Eric, it completely changed my life, and I thank them for that till my dying day. but also they gave me the freedom to be the guitar player that I am, showcased me, and let me write. The first song I wrote for Triumph of Steel was Ride the Dragon. Okay. And Power of Thy Sword, Metal Warriors, Achilles. I mean, we all did what we did with it. And touring, seeing the world. I went to Greece 3 times, Japan twice.
Nice.
John Calager was hanging out with us that put, Aerosmith back on the road, worked with Bon Jovi, made some good friends and was making good money, did some good videos. And then when it was time, above and beyond the good and bad, without getting into that, Joey was starting his label, and what I wanted to do and they were doing were 2 different things. I needed to show people more of who I am as a guitar player, a composer, and to do that, I had to no longer be in that band, but we're still such good friends. Yeah. Joey took my first 2 records. He put money behind it, paid me in the band for it. He paid for those videos, Ashes to Ashes, Calling All Heroes. We got it to Nuclear Blast. He took my band, TSG, with me and my buddies, me, Dennis Hirshire on vocals, Jeff Kylo on bass, Sabathany on drums. Oh my God, He was wonderful. Dave Sabathany, phenomenal drummer that he did. He flew us over there to do the Magic Circle Fest, Brad Sabathany, in 2007, and we released it June 8th. In 2007 at the Magic Circle Festival, 40,000 people, and that's got
holy shit.
What is it? It's got Asylum God and Bleeding Hell are videos that we played live, but then they dubbed in the record for it to be on the DVD. So Joey and I, even when I was out of the band, we still had a lot in common, and it's been a long time since we talked, and he's doing his thing, I'm doing mine, but we will always be brothers till the end.
That is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You know, and you develop relationships in the music business, long-term relationships. And I still have them with the bands I played in. I don't know if you know what my history. I was the lead singer for Danger. And then I was in No Stranger. I was a keyboard player for No Stranger with Tom Hardy on lead vocals. And I had Joe Ricketts.
You know, brother, you played with some great people.
Oh, yeah. I played with Guns N' Roses. I played with Van Halen. I played with everybody. But I had a 45 year.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Vaughn. Let's hear it. There he is, right here.
This ain't my interview. but you know,
some credit here,
for me to do a podcast show, and I'll tell you why. The reason I know who you are and I know about the business is because I've been in it for 45 years. I play every instrument. I don't play guitar like you, but I never will. I mean, I just don't want to go there.
I never run a podcast show like you do, so we're good. But look, we got our coffee cup.
Okay, you got yours and I got mine. So I made it.
And my one of the first got one, or she would have killed me, Barbie Ray. So you sent me 2. I had to give her one. My girlfriend can share this with me.
Now let me talk about your hot sauce. Now why did you decide? I'm going to show you both. He's got a hot one and a less hot one. It's the Shred.
That's the Shred Demon from Hellfire Hot Sauce out of Lake Geneva up here.
And then we got.
That's the so-called Dean milder one, which is much milder compared to some people.
Okay, so I got to be careful. I got to be careful with this one.
Now I'm working on a third one that will sit in between them called Soul Stealer. So we're working on a third one to be coming out hopefully by the new year called Soul Stealer.
And now everybody, we're going to have the call-in segment right now. I'm going to give away this coffee mug right now.
To you have to mail me 2 of them because you didn't send me that one.
I sent you this one. Yes. So if you call into the show, this is my favorite. This is a 2-sided mug. So when you're a left-handed drinker, you get the other side.
Okay, you go.
This is a 2-sided mug. So for lefties, I think of everything, you know, and we're you know, you and I, in proper English, we are bad boys, what you gonna do? No, we are. What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? You know, and we are bad boys, man, because we're out there rocking, and you got sex, rock and roll, and we'll exclude the drugs for now, because you know, in this era,
you said something earlier that's gonna go with the bad boy. You said people get older and they calm down and they relax. No, I do not.
No,
I'm not ashamed to say this. I just turned 63 in March 7th.
Oh my God,
born 1962. I am as fired up now with my life. I'm content. My music, my bands, my school, my girlfriend, my friends, that I will always be on 10 all the time because and you know you're going. I know,
and your volume is on 10. I think it's on 15.
Like fucking this, man. Okay, you can't shut me down. You know why? Because I live by the 3 A's: attitude, aggressiveness, and appearance. And when I play live, I like to melt people's faces and have them walk away and go, I don't even know what I just saw. I just got my face ripped off. That's the kind of guy I am. And you
almost talk as fast as you play guitar.
That's right, I do.
See, some people say you look like your dog. You look like your guitar.
That's my personality, man. I'm on fire all the time.
You are your guitar. Hey, everyone, we're going to take calls into the show right now. You see that mug, that beautiful mug right there? Talk to the band. And, okay, so David already has. You're one of the first out of 88 episodes that got a mug.
I am honored. Thank you.
Yes, you are. And before the show even started.
One of the two mugs.
You got 2 mugs, one for your sister. And before the show even started, which is it takes about 2 weeks for that mug to ship. So everyone, please call into the show right now. I'm going to show the screen on full screen real quick.
Yeah, where they can get it. Yeah.
Did you see my screen, Dave?
I see the screen with the mug on it right over your shoulder, yeah?
Okay, so everyone call in. The country code is 1. Dial 669-444-9171 in the USA. Country code 1-669-444-9171. You're going to win this free mug if you call into the show and talk to David. So it's a beautiful mug, and I will ship it out to you first thing in the morning. So give a call into the show. We're talking with David Shankle, the #1 guitarist out of probably just a handful in the world. So you're really getting a treat. You're getting a treat tonight on the Dean Vaughn Music Podcast Show. I don't have this extraordinary talent all the time, but once in a while, I get a great one, and that is David Shankle.
Thank you for your kind words, my friend. That means a lot.
Absolutely, and and I love your energy, and you need that energy in this business. You got to have it. You got to have it.
There's too many young punks out there that are ready to go, I'll keep up with this guy or that guy or this. And you know what? I used to be that guy, so I stayed hungry all the time because I never let my guard down, brother.
I got you.
Remember this. 3 A's: attitude, aggressiveness, and appearance. You got to stay strong.
I love it. I love that acronym. And, you remind me a little bit of the Hulk. No, not the Hulk. What's the wrestler?
No. Yeah, I get people,
My brother, I know.
Hey, brother, we're going to do that song. Come on, brother, get up there now. I get the Hulk Hogan thing all the time. So fucking what? I don't care. I like Hulk Hogan.
I love Hulk Hogan, man.
And he wears a bandana.
I love that guy. I love that guy.
It is what it is.
He is one of my favorites. I want to play a video for the audience. It's Hellborn, and you were prefacing it. Now, tell me a little bit more about Hellborn before I play it. Go ahead.
Hellborn was the title of the second DSG record that was released in 2007. It was either June 8th or it could have been July 8th, but I think it was June at the Magic Circle Fest. Dennis Hirshire, my singer I brought in, wonderful singer. Jeff Kylo on bass, who's a great friend of mine, known each other our whole life. And like I said, Brad Sabathany on drums, and Warrock and me. I don't want to forget me. I think I was in the band.
It's David Shankle Group, Hellborn.
Yeah, David Shankle Group, Hellborn. Now, is this a video from that festival with the studio audio, or what are you about to play?
This is a red screen. There's a girl or a man. It looks like an Indian with wings.
Oh, okay. So this is the album cover that's almost like the skeleton with wings. So it's the studio version that you're going to play.
Yes.
Give it to us. Give it to us, bro.
All right, you guys ready out there? Everybody, turn up the volume.
That's what I was.
Turn up the volume. Turn up the volume. Here we go, everyone. Crank it up. This is Dean Vaughn Music Podcast Show. Here we go. Let's do it. Got to keep up.
This is a style of God.
Oh my God.
This all they know the track is Asylum God.
Ah, okay. You can explain that when it's over.
Here we go. This is the instrumental, the voyage. Yeah, heard it in a while.
Hold on. Mute it. I'm going to listen to your guitar.
Yeah. Come on. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
This has got T.D. Clark, Joe Stump, and Michael Angelo Batio doing guest solos with me on this.
Nice.
And I'll point them out when they come.
All right.
This is all me. I had them do guest solos.
That's incredible.
Solo is T.D. Clark.
Gotcha.
Right now.
Holy shit.
That's T.D. Clark.
Got it.
We played on each other's records. Okay, buddy, next up now is my good friend Joe Stump.
Okay.
Now.
Okay. Holy shit. You're in good company.
Oh, yeah.
You're in great company.
Have a different solo tone.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's Michael Angelo Batio, then me, and you'll hear how we're neck and neck.
I got you. Michael Angelo.
Yeah. Completely different tone from everybody so far.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Incredible.
Me with melody and harmonies. Now me. Gotta save me for last, brother.
The Shred Demon. David Shankle is up right now.
Oh, yeah.
Live.
There you go. Stop.
You're blowing my mind.
Now you're into the verses again.
I like that. I'd love to sing on one of your tracks, I'll tell you that.
There you go. Big shred at the end here, I do.
What's going on?
Coming up right here. There you go.
A Tails AI co-pilot helps you solve complex IT issues faster than...
Oh my God. There's just a lot going on.
Isn't it crazy?
It's a lot going on. Yeah, it is crazy.
You know, and then real quick, just so you know, on the last DSG record after that one, Still a Warrior, I get 9 guest solos. Not only T.D. Clark, Joe Stump Batio, I get Parker Lundgren from Queensryche. Let's see who else. I get Roger Stauffenbach from Artention and quite a few other guys. Tommy Vitally. All we kept looping the same solo, and the song's like 20 minutes long because there's like 9 guys playing a different solo because they're friends of mine, and I wanted to have them on there, you know?
That's incredible, Dave. Oh, let me turn
Thank
off
you.
my...
Thank you.
I sound like I'm in a fucking hall.
You hear all that, it'll take the friggin' wind out of you, you know?
Even it messed up my EQ. It was so freaking crazy.
There's a lot of notes that were being played.
I used to teach music, and I know there's like 64th notes, 128th.
Right.
Those notes that you're playing within the measure. What are those notes for the technical theory people out there?
That is power drill picking, economy and down up picking, just at doubling the top speed of what the tempo is of the song to play melodically and fast in time, let alone the arpeggio harmonies that I'm doing. And everybody else that played, when you're a professional guitar player, you know to play to the groove and the tempo of what it is.
Right.
And that comes with time practicing. I mean, I grew up and with MANOWAR. Joey and I lived for practicing with a metronome, because a metronome is God to get your picking down and smooth, but then you turn that off and step away so you can command that on your own.
I got you.
And that's what I do. There's many guitar players out there that do that I like besides Joe Stump. Michael's a friend of mine, Christian Villatera, great guitar player. A lot of people throw DSG records in that Intellatera world. He and I have met and hung out with. Hell, works for us, you know, and he's a great guitar player, super nice guy. But that's kind of where DSG is for me, in that kind of world of music, you know, and those kind of players, because I associate with those kind of players. They may know me, I know them. I'm friends with Geoff.
Well, tell me, David, tell me the biggest stage and the best and the probably. I already asked you what your highlight was, but I was talking to Carlos Cavazo from Quiet Riot.
Oh, yeah.
His was the US Festival. He said that was by far the best time he ever had on stage. There was 500,000 kids screaming.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, the US Festival. And then he left Quiet Riot, and I was interviewing Freak Show at the time. Well, tell me, what was the biggest stage and the biggest audience and the most fun you ever had playing on stage, and who was on stage with you?
At that time in MANOWAR, when I was touring Triumph of Steel, on that first tour going overseas, we played San Sebastian, Spain. And it was a huge, giant auditorium. And I'd never even thought of ever playing anything that big. And at the time, it was 20,000 people inside. And this was during my first tour. And then as tours went on over in Europe, back when Triumph of Steel was hitting its peak, there was 20,000, 30,000 seaters, some places and countries, 5,000, some 10. But when we did the MANOWAR reunion after I was out of the band, and this was 10 years later, Joey decided, after what happened to Dimebag Darrell, God rest his soul, okay, that Ross and all of us talked and said, we should do a reunion, brother. We never know when something's going to happen. And Joey decided to have the Magic Circle MANOWAR Reunion Fest in 2010 with me, Ross the Boss, Carl, Donnie Hamzik, the original drummer, Scott Columbus, and Rhino. And Joey introduced all of us to come out and do 3 songs from the records that we did when it was our time in that band. And then the very last song, you should see it, it's Battle Hymns. It's all 3 drummers elevated in the air, all the guitar players, and then motorcycles on stage, 70,000 people. It's just an ocean of head. And that's where that Achilles solo was from. And I was just so energized, if you can believe it, more than I am now. I was just on fire, and it was like a magical moment that lives in my heart and is captured on video forever.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, man.
You know, the thing about the internet, when you do these concerts, they're there forever. Everything you've ever done is there forever, as long as the internet stays alive. You know, but and people, if they want to see you, where's the best place for them to go and check out your best stuff? Where do you want to send people?
What I would say is go to my YouTube channel, David Shankle. I've got 375 videos up there that span over different times of my career, stuff that people had from bootlegs. I mean, if you go to the YouTube channel, MANOWAR Bootleg, there's stuff up there from me I never even seen and that I got. And I put a lot of this stuff on my TikTok, but my YouTube channel is where everything sits. And I have a lot of social medias. My main Facebook is David Shankle. People can reach me there for lessons, Instagram, you know, all the stuff. But YouTube is where I put my stuff from all the records I've been on, buddy. Yeah.
I got the reason I asked you is because some people have private. They have private sites.
Sure.
Some people live, but
I got nothing to hide. I'm an open book. Like back in the days when we would meet and have people come backstage and the girls, I would always say, it's okay, Dean, I'm a sure thing. It's okay. I'm going to go. Come on.
Hey, I was the lead singer. I was the lead singer for Danger, and I'll tell you.
You know what I'm talking about.
I can tell you. I can tell you a lot of stories. I can tell you a lot of stories. And you know, when I was playing with Guns N' Roses, and I was playing with my friend Tommy Lee from Motley Crue. Me and Tom went to Royal Oak High School together. We were both seniors.
Oh, wonderful.
And I used to walk across.
I always loved his drumming and his personality because he always had that I don't give a shit, I'm who I am, and I love that about him.
I love Tom, man, and he doesn't give a shit. And he was much different in high school. I could tell you that.
Yeah,
he didn't have one tattoo. I'll tell you that. His name was Tom Bass. But anyway,
things change, always do.
Things change, man. But I'll tell you, the music business is tough, man. When you're on top and you're on tour and you're out there traveling, man, it gets very busy. How do you maintain some sort of sanity when you have concerts booked and you're a very technical guy, you're high energy? Do you somehow dismiss the partying so you can play the next show, or do you just kind of cruise with the rest of the guys?
You know, in earlier days of MANOWAR, you know, we would never eat before the show. We'd eat afterwards. We always had great catering. We had weights with us to lift and stuff to help keep us in shape. And then we'd go out as a band or with promoters and eat and drink. But there was never, on God's name from me, no drugs involved in MANOWAR, but we could drink the sauce when we wanted to. And as time moved on, I have been completely sober now for almost 6 years. I don't drink any liquor. I drink my ice water and coffee with French vanilla cream. That's it. And some good tea. I haven't had a drop of liquor in 6 years.
You know what? I got to celebrate. I got to celebrate, baby. I got to celebrate. Here we go.
Yeah.
You know what? Congratulations, because it's not easy.
You get too busy in life, running a music school, running 3 bands, teaching students. I go out and see my friends play and watch everybody else get hammered because I'm too busy. I don't need to wake up with a trash can head. It's always music, teaching that, and moving forward, trying to keep the ship sailing, you know.
I've got another video for the audience. This one's DSG Phenor X MANOWAR interview Chicago 2019 on Duke TV. Does that sound familiar?
Yes, and he's a wonderful guy from France. He's excellent. He came over and did some stuff with Gus with Fëanor, and I will be working with him again in the future. He's wonderful, wonderful. Duke TV. We loved him.
Duke TV. So you were on a TV show.
Yes, he flew from France to New York to take care of business.
Okay.
Then he flew to Chicago just to interview me and my girlfriend, and we met him downtown at a wonderful hotel, had dinner, and he interviewed us in the hotel room talking about my thoughts about what Carl did in MANOWAR and him getting arrested and all that.
Gotcha.
And that was during that time, after that, when he interviewed me,
Okay, I got you. That's pretty cool. So I'm trying to cue it up right now. I just got to get through the commercial. All right. So we don't need to see the commercials. All righty. And you're popular when they run commercials on your stuff.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it is what it is, right?
Well, somebody's making money. It's probably not us.
It's not coming to you or me. Okay.
Oh my God. Let me play it. Let me play it for the audience. Are you ready, Dave?
I'm ready, buddy. Thank you.
Okay, man. Let's go ahead and share that. Here we go. All right, everyone, brace for magnificence.
Hail to my heavy metal brothers and sisters. This is David Shankle, formerly of MANOWAR, currently DSG Devil Landed Fëanor, and I am coming at you from the mighty Duke TV. Hail, kill, shred on!
More fucking hot sauce. More hot sauce. Here we go.
A lot of the solo instrumental artists that I see right now myself, they're all great and fantastic, but what I'd like to see is more versatility in some of the players. And getting to my first ever instrumental record that I will be doing and releasing in 2019, the title of that I'm sharing with you all for the first time, Unleash the Dragon. It will show.
Hang on a second. Are you seeing anything, Dave, right now?
Classical
I'm
guitar
not seeing
playing.
anything. I'm just hearing. I'm not seeing.
Hang on a second. Let me know. Sometimes I screw up.
Okay.
Let me get it shared real quick. Hold on, everyone. Be patient. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Soldiers of Warriors.
Ready. Soldiers of Warriors. We got David Shankle interview, Chicago 2019 on Duke TV. You're watching the Dean Von Music podcast show. Let's try it again, people. Here we go. I got one of these screens. It just wants to have
to my heavy metal brothers and sisters. This is David Shankle, formerly of MANOWAR, currently DSG Devil Landed Fëanor, and I am coming at you from the mighty Duke TV. Hail, kill, shred on!
Come on, baby. Love it.
Fëanor music.
Reminds me a little Michael Angelo right there.
A lot of the solo instrumental artists that I see right now myself, they're all great and fantastic, but what I'd like to see is more versatility in some of the players. And getting to my first ever instrumental record that I will be doing and releasing in 2019, the title of that I'm sharing with you all for the first time, Unleash the Dragon. It will show my neoclassical style instrumental stuff, classical guitar playing, some gypsy jazz stuff that I'm getting into, kind of new gypsy jazz. And I've always wanted to, do a record where I can go, look, I can do more than just what you're hearing from MANOWAR, Triumph of Steel, and even exiting that band. All three of my DSG records really got to show people my writing, what I'm capable of composing, how I can have fantastic singers and help them with melody and harmonies.
Wow.
Now I want to show the world what I can do by myself, all
There you
alone.
go. Very nice. Look at that.
There you go.
Look at that. There we go.
Bleeding hell.
Look at your hair.
There's
Even to
Dennis.
this day, I get a lot of people that say, why wasn't there another Triumph of Steel record? Why did you leave the band? Well, things change, always do. And there's things that you just keep between brothers, but we still love each other. But to make the fans happy, and a lot of people know there is a new record coming out from my new band called Feanor, and it is called Return of the Metal King. It is fantastic. Nice. It is all the technology of the best studio you have today, best video quality. We have real drums, not this MIDI program shit. Okay, real drums, real violins. Drums. We got a 20-piece choir coming in, male and female choir people to sing for us on an epic track called The Odyssey. This record is what part 2 of Triumph of Steel that never came out, but rest assured, my friends and my fans, it is coming out with this band Feanor, and it is tremendous and will be 10 times better than that, because I've had all that time to grow from my DSG records, my college experience, all the memories and everything I've done with MANOWAR, and can look back on what I did and use that as a template to crush you, to smash everything I've ever done before when this record comes out. I was contacted by Ross and Gus from this band Feanor. This is the record we played on. It's called We Are Heavy Metal. They have Tony Martin, who sang with Black Sabbath, great legendary singer, did a track called Crying Games. So at first, all it was just 2 songs on a guest solo. They contacted me and my manager and said, we got a great idea. How about you come over and tour with us, and let's do the entire Triumph of Steel record. So when that tour went great, sold out everywhere we played, was there about 4 or 5 weeks, came back, and they asked me, brother, would you like to be in the band? I love my brothers. Sven Dianis, Lobo, Emiliano on drums, Walter the Scorpion the guitar, and obviously Gus Feanor the bass player. We are brothers of steels and true brothers of metal.
Oh my God.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
Bye.
What happened? They want to throw a commercial in there?
I think we blew everything up. I don't know.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Crap. They
Oh
want
my
to
God.
I'll cut that out later. Gotta be kidding me.
You know what,
I always
demons
get
with
asked about how did the whole MANOWAR thing had come about. I was playing in a band called Vengeance at the time in Chicago. I was
Which we
playing at
talked
Thirsty
about.
Whale.
Yeah.
And a girlfriend of mine came backstage and said, hey, Scott Columbus, Joey DeMaio, and Eric Adams are here, and they'd like to meet you. So I said, okay. I walked out there, and there they were sitting at a table, and Joey in his way, brother of metal, what's going on? You know, you shredder, this and that. And I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. And we talked for a while, and they watched me play, and I noticed they came by the side of the stage and got by the monitor board, and I could tell they were really checking out what gear I was using, what was going on. At the time, they were mixing Kings of Metal at Universal Studios. One day he called me up and he said, son, because he'd always call me son. He goes, I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pencil, and I want you to write this down for me. He goes, that which does not kill me only makes you stronger. And welcome, you are the new guitar player in MANOWAR, and I'm going to call you the Death Dealer, because you play over the neck with 2 hands faster than most guys do regular, and you are going to be put on salary, and you are going to be the new guitar player.
Wow.
And from that moment on, that changed my life.
Wow.
Ross was out of the band. They brought me in, and I was touring, doing the Kings of Metal record that Ross never did. So that's how people got to see me. Then when that 2-year tour was over with, Joey and I sat down, and he was like, give me all these riffs you got. And there came the Triumph of Steel was born.
Nice.
And people were excited to see what Joey and I'd come up with. And then I moved to New York, and I sat there with Joey, and we wrote that record while we toured. And I flew back and forth to Chicago. And it was the first record that ever went gold and went platinum for that band to this date. And I am very proud of that. This is about the Carl thing. Unfortunately, that's a sad thing when I found out about that Carl was arrested with some BS about child pornography. Or I hope for Carl's sake and his family that he will come out of this standing strong, and if there's any truth to any of it, that he'll get the help that he needs, because he's a great guitar player. He was always a nice guy to me, and this is still a shock. And there's people that come to me and Ross every day that say, you should be back in the band, or should it be Ross? Well, that's neither here or there. That band is Joey and Eric, and whoever they got, good luck. I hope it works out for you. But Ross and I, we've made our legacy and our time in that band. I do wish the best for Carl. I do hope the dust can settle and he can hold his head up high, because that's an awful accusation. And from my heart to him, I hope it's not true, and I hope a lot of it's just misunderstood to where, you know, he can hold no shame. So that's all I got to say about that.
There we go.
Holy smokes.
When I did the demonic solo for the movie Jezebeth, a vampire movie, they asked me, would you write a 1 and 40-second solo for this girl, Brie Michaels, who's the star in the movie, where she's changing into a vampire, but she's dressed all sexy.
Cool.
And they filmed a solo that I wrote, and they shaved all the hair off my arm, painted my fingernails, and had 3 cameras doing the demonic solo. You know, that is some lightning speed stuff that I did.
Yeah.
The whole shred demon thing just come along with that, because if you've seen me play, and you're into anything that I do, I don't fuck around, man. I never claim to be the best, but I fear nobody. I play the way I do. I have many different styles. Whether you like me or not, that personally, it makes no difference. I got plenty of fans out there that love me, and I love them too.
There you go. There you go. Say it like it is, baby.
I call it like I say it, brother. And that's
Call it like I say it. I got you.
You know.
I love your confidence.
Oh, yeah.
I have teamed up with the company, the famous Hellfire Hot Sauce out of Lake Geneva. So I picked which one I want for a really hot sauce and what would be a mild. Not everybody can handle, you know, demonic sauce, shred sauce. One is called Hellfire Hot Sauce, Shred Demon Sauce, which is super hot. And the other one is Hellfire Hot Sauce with a different picture called Full Shred, which is going to be the milder sauce.
Very nice. Look at that.
Those are just solos that I'm on.
Good Lord. That's amazing.
Hail
Thank
to my
you.
heavy metal
There he
brothers
is.
and sisters.
He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop.
So
David
just so
Shankle.
you know, brother,
David Shankle is everywhere.
at the end when that scrolled, I'm on 39 guest solo CDs of other people I played on. And, you know, I have a total of about 56 albums that I'm on from the beginning of my career to now. So, you know, like I said, there's talk about maybe doing another DSG record, and I do it, but I'm doing the Gray Brain thing, and even if it's still Gray Brain, I may do another DSG record. And, you know, what I did with Fëanor, that's not done and over with. I know Chris and I someday will do something again.
You remind me of my friend Mark Bowles, and I don't know if you know
I love Mark Bowles. Did you know I just did the guest solo on Red Raven for that?
Did you really? Okay, okay.
Howie knows.
I didn't know that. So Mark Bowles, I've interviewed him 3 or 4 times
What
now.
a great singer he is, Mark Bowles. And Holly, my friend queen, she hooked me up to do the guest solo. It's on my YouTube channel.
Oh, that's awesome.
Got a picture of me and Mark Bowles. It's a short solo, but it's the full version because they edited it down in the studio.
Yeah.
So G can do it, but the full version is me. It's up on my YouTube channel.
I'm gonna have to go back and I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it. Red Raven. I've been following them from the very beginning. I've done 4 or 5 interviews now with Red Raven, and I've done some.
My friend Eddie used to play bass with him, but he's not in the band anymore.
You're talking about Ed Witzke.
Yeah, he's out of the band.
I know Ed.
Great bass player.
Yeah, he's a hammer.
Yeah.
That guy's a hammer. And we used to laugh. We used to joke back and forth. They go, well, what do we call them? Thunderfingers.
Yeah.
Thunderfingers Ed.
Thunderfingers
Ed Witzke. And he did some shit. He fucked up and they had to get rid of him. But they got somebody else in there and then that person's gone. So I think Mark Bowles is playing bass.
I don't know. I thought they did get somebody. I know they got a different drummer.
Well, you're talking about from Finland.
I think. I don't know him personally.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Mirka. I'm sure he's a great drummer if he's playing with him. I just don't know him.
Mirka's thunder, man. You want Mirka on your back when you're playing drums. He's badass. Red Raven has a new ballad just came out.
Yeah, I heard it. Nice song too. Very nice.
I know the guitar player Guilherme Costa. He's in Brazil. G, they call him, and he's a good friend of mine, a nice kid. And he also teaches guitar like you. So, I look at people who take their craft to another level, like yourself, and you're giving away, you're not giving it away, but you're sharing your talent, your expertise, your experience with the younger generation that's coming up in the music business. I think that's very honorable of you, and it's how we make a living too. I'm not sure if that's where your primary income's at. None of my business. Yeah. But I think that's great that you're doing that. And you're giving away. You're sharing your expertise that doesn't come easy. And I was taught by a vocal coach, Elizabeth Sabine. She also taught Geoff Tate from Queensryche. That was my vocal teacher for about 3 years. She passed away. She defected here from England.
Oh, Lord. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I know. But me and Geoff Tate had one of the best vocal coaches in Ron Keel. He's one of the guys that was her student.
Yeah, I know Ron. Great guy. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
He played with us when we did that show when I was in Valeside where I met the people from Hot Sauce. His band was there too. Keel.
Okay. Keel. Yeah. And Steeler. Remember Steeler?
Yeah,
and I talked to Rick Fox almost daily. I talk to Rick Fox all the time. He's such a great guy. And he just gets in a band and then he ends up in another band. It's like, he was doing this thing with Freak Show and that's a whole nother story, but I love Rick, man. Rick is a great guy and he really means well. And he's a great bass player. I just love Rick. He's fun. I did a 3-hour interview with him, by the way.
Oh, Lord. And you probably still had more to talk about, didn't you?
You are the closest I've come to Rick Fox interview-wise. I know you got another 2 hours of stories if I wanted to stay online.
Yeah.
But I want you to.
Know what? We'll save that for another interview once the Grave Rain record's out, the band's played out. Maybe by the end of the year we can set up another one and we can get the part 2 update.
Is that a promise?
That is a promise. If you'll have me, I'll come back.
Okay, we will schedule that in the future for sure. I want you back on the show, and I know you got a lot planned, more than I can probably talk about in the next 15 minutes. We're going to probably get close to wrapping up. It's been a long show, but I hope everyone enjoyed it. David Shankle live on the Dean Von Music podcast show.
You're the man, Dean. Thank you so much, buddy.
No, you are so talented.
Holly,
you are so talented.
Yeah. If she's still out there, thank you, Holly. I love you, Shred Queen.
Holly Hale got me this incredible talent tonight. David Shankle of DSG Band. Go see him, Google him, look for his talent, look for all of his albums and download. Yeah. Where can people get your albums and buy them right now, David?
One more time, you can get all my DSG stuff, Theodore and Grave Rain, through the Grave Rain website, which is graverainband.com. First record, Destination Aftermath. New record will be starting to mix at the end of the month. That band playing live again. Michael Ray on drums, Jack Lazar on guitar, rhythm, Tony Angle, the whole guys that have been coming out. And remember, Kings of the New Kingdom with me and Michael Stark and Mike LaPlante. Okay, all this stuff coming out. You can find it all on my website and on my Facebook pages.
Okay, Dave, we're going to play this outro video. I want to thank you for doing the show tonight, David. You've been an awesome guest, and thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.